best cup of the day. Good morning. Day 66. Cooking down the freezer. So this morning it's snowing again. Oh, February is always such a boring month. At least here. We don't have summer here. So that's it on this bottle of creamer. But not to worry, I have plenty more. And that's an advantage of having a stash. You don't run out of things, and then you don't have to run to the store in the snow, which makes me very happy. So do you guys have a stash? Or are you a shop once and eat it all up kind of guy? Person. So I read an article once about why time seems to go so much slower when you're a child, and when it goes so much faster the older you get. And the explanation was that as a child, let's say you're 2 years old, and a year is half of your life. Whereas if you're in your 70s, a year is only 1/70th of your life. So I guess that makes sense. And that's why time seems to go so fast as you get older. And then every year it goes faster and faster. Every time I turn around, the weekend's here again. So, but that's all right. We do what we can with the time we have. And hopefully it's productive. And by productive, I don't necessarily mean you're doing something all the time. By productive, I mean your time makes you happy, doing whatever you're doing, including just sitting and having coffee and doing nothing. One of my favorite things to do. Back. Look how fluffy it is. Oh, good Lord. Is this ever going to go away? We're making more gnome hats. Somebody wants to come in. Oh, good Lord. Look at all this fluff. Oh, dear. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy. Yep, it's back. Breakfast, day 66. Let's see what we can find. So, I only have 4 eggs left. Grandson Ryan ate 2, so that's good. I am in the mood for some of this hummus. This hummus is really good. What I like about it, it's in the individual packets, so I can eat it in a day. And I think I'm going to have some more of my fitness bread with it. I do want to eat that up. I still have leftovers from yesterday, and I'm going to make a dish with those tonight. And I'm going to have some of my vegan lunch meat with the hummus. But I also want to try something with this. So it's either going to go or it's going to make something edible. All right. So that's it for now. I'll meet you at the stove. 2 cup morning, 2 coffee cup morning. There we go. So cheers, coffee cup number 2. And guess what? I'm staying home again today. All right, I want to try something. This I got this at the Dollar Tree, and I made it according to package directions, and I was not impressed with it. It's buttermilk pancake mix, and it's supposed to be complete, just add water. So the pancakes were very, not so good. I didn't think they were that great. So anyway, I want to try and add some of my homemade yogurt mix that I made to it instead. So I have half a cup here. It's supposed to make 3 or 4 pancakes, and that's plenty. So, and this is one of the things I found in my stash when I was cleaning things out. So it's a blender bottle. So I want to try it with the pancakes. It may work, it may not. And it's got this little spongy ball. Because I figured if it works, I can just pour the pancakes out of that. And since it's such a little amount. But I also want to add a little bit of cinnamon sugar to the pancake mix. So, let's see here. I have some pre-mixed cinnamon sugar. And I just keep it in one of those little jar candle things from the Dollar Tree. So I'm not going to put too much in, maybe about, a good teaspoon. And I'll keep it out in case I want to sprinkle more on there. Alright, so half a cup of the mix. And it says 1/3 of a cup of water, so I'm going to try 1/3 of a cup of this. Now this may be terrible, I don't know, but we'll see. It's nice and thick like buttermilk, and it's sour like buttermilk. So I think I'll put that in first. So I'm playing with my food again. Sometimes it works. So I'm going to mix this up. Now this may not work at all in this mixer. I'm not sure. But the lid sure doesn't go on very well, so I'll just have to hold it. So I'm going to mix this up and be back, and if it doesn't work, I'll put it in a bowl. It's very, very thick, so I think I'm going to add some more of the liquid. Okay, that did not go well at all with the little ball, so I just took that out and mixed it up. And I also added a little bit more of this mixture and also a little tiny bit of water because it was way, way too thick. So it was more like almost like a cookie dough. So I'm going to try it, see how it turns out. I've got a little butter in my pan. And I'm going to make a pancake. The first pancake never turns out. It looks like it's only going to make 2, which is fine, because I don't want to waste a lot of food. So, I'll be back in a little bit, and we'll see what we have. Okay, well so far it looks good. Maybe it'll work. I don't know. And it's not even looking too bad for the first pancake. And I sprinkled a little more cinnamon sugar on there before I flipped it. I figured it could caramelize a little bit. Well, I still have one teeny tiny little pancake baking, but these look pretty darn good. They're really fluffy and light. So, but who knows what it's going to taste like. So I just have some Aunt Jemima syrup here I'm going to have with them. And I'm going to give these a taste, and hopefully they'll be edible. So there we go. Part of my breakfast, number day 66. give it a taste. They seem light and fluffy. They're not heavy at all. So, those are really good. Really good. So I found a use for my pancake mix that I didn't like, and my yogurt that I wasn't real crazy about, but it makes some really good pancakes. And it's good with the cinnamon sugar. All right. I'll be back in a minute with breakfast part 2. Well, I changed my mind about breakfast part 2 because those pancakes really filled me up, and they were good. So Loretta can stay. I don't like the directions on the package. They were not good that way, and my homemade yogurt, I have enough to make another batch, but I'm thinking now that I may just save that last little bit of yogurt and make some more soy milk yogurt. It started out as coconut milk yogurt, store-bought from Walmart, the one that costs $5 and some cents, which is nonsense. So, but yeah, for making pancakes and things, it was really good. All right, well, I'll be back a little later and we'll see what the day brings. Try to make some yogurt again. In here, I'm just making a small batch in case it doesn't turn out. So in here I have 2 cups of West soy milk. Apparently you want to get just soy milk and water. You don't want any additives in it. And then I have about a tablespoon of agar flakes that I wanted to use up. If you're using powder, then just use half a teaspoon for each 2 cups. The original recipe called for 4 cups, but I don't want to make that much in case I don't like it or it doesn't turn out. So I'm going to heat this up to a simmer until it starts to thicken a little bit. And then I'm going to add what's left of my yogurt that I made my pancakes out of this morning. So this yogurt, I didn't heat the milk up at all. I just made it with having it sit on the counter for, I think it was 48 hours. And it does have a nice tang to it, but I'm going to try doing it this way and see if I can get a little bit thicker yogurt, because this is more like a buttermilk consistency, but it has a lot of the good bacteria in it, and I'm going to use that as my starter. And then I also have a little bit of coconut milk yogurt left, and I may add a little bit of that as well, just to get it to a good start. And then from what I've read, saving a little bit of your homemade yogurt as a starter, you can use it over and over again. So I'm going to go ahead and cook this and thicken it up a little bit, and we'll see what happens. Now if you want to make almond milk yogurt, I think you would probably have to make homemade almond milk, because I don't know of any almond milk, unless you do, that doesn't have other ingredients in it. You just want the almonds and water. And the West Soy brand of soy milk, just the plain, doesn't have any other additives. So, and you can do the same thing with coconut milk. And I've even seen yogurt made with oat milk. So I'm just trying to figure out a way to save some money and not pay $5 for this yogurt. Okay, so I'm going to let that cook a little bit. Alright, well, I cooked this a little bit, thickened it up a little bit, not that much, and I put this out just to come to room temperature. So now I'm going to wait until this cools down quite a bit, like maybe to 90 degrees, because you don't want to kill your bacteria. And then I'm going to add them and then put them back in the jar and let it ferment anywhere from 8 hours to 24, and then taste it and see if it's sour enough. You might need longer if it's cold. So hopefully this works, and it's a yogurt I like. I've made yogurt before, but I still haven't hit that sweet spot of that's it. So I keep Let's see what's for dinner, day 66. And I have a pretty good idea what I'm going to make. I just want to use up all these little schnibbles of leftovers. So I have this pasta sauce that I opened up a couple days ago. I have this tomato. It's getting pretty shriveled up. I have this taquito meat. It's got vegan cheeses and my last of my seitan. And down here I have leftover macaroni and cheese from yesterday. So we're going to make a one-pot wonder. I had some hummus for a snack. And this is the soy milk I was telling you about, the West Soy Organic Unsweetened Plain Soy Milk. You can get this at Walmart, and it's shelf stable. All right, I will meet you over at the store. I have about a little more than half a can of this tomato sauce, and I'm going to doctor this up a little bit. I never like just plain canned tomato sauce. And this is pasta sauce, so it's actually finished. It's not just tomato sauce. But I like to put some other seasonings in there too, just to make it a little more homemade. So I'm going to add half this tomato in with the sauce. And then I'm going to put about half a teaspoon of this garlic and herb seasoning. Now this one is not salted. This is salt-free. Some of them are salted, so you kind of have to go by taste. So I'm going to put some basil in there too, if I can find it. So, about a quarter of a teaspoon, because this is probably only a cup of sauce. And then I'm also going to put some parsley. Quarter of a teaspoon, between a quarter and a half. So that should be good. And then I want to add some pepper. And I don't know if it'll need some salt. I have to taste it. But that's good for now. use just a little bit of salt, not much. Actually, I was going to put garlic salt in there, but I think I'm going to use this complete seasoning instead. I like this complete seasoning. I would get this again. I got it at Dollar Tree. So that should be good. That really gives things a good flavor. And I know it has MSG in it, but I don't care about that. Now I've got the seitan in the cheese. I'm going to add that in with this too. So then what I'm going to do, I have a very small casserole dish, and I'm hoping it all fits in here. It never does. But I'm going to put a layer of this mixture on the bottom. And then here I have macaroni and cheese from yesterday. And I'm going to warm this up a little bit and add the rest of this tomato in with the mac and cheese. Okay, that's all warmed up. Not too much. I don't want to cook it. I just wanted to heat it a little bit so that I could get it unclumped. So in goes the rest of the tomato. And I'm just going to mix that up in there. So it's a good way to get rid of your bits and bobs of food. Anything with pasta. A lot of things you can mix and match and combine. Alright, that's good enough. Now I'm going to layer this on top of the spaghetti sauce. And I was hoping that I would be able to eat this whole thing, but probably not. I'll have a little bit more left over, I'm sure. But we'll see. We will see. Okay, now I'm going to put the rest of this pasta sauce on top. And the good thing is it all fits. Yay! All right. I just cannot quit making leftovers. It just is not happening. But I'm grateful I have food to eat. So I could have the opposite problem and that would be bad. Alright, here I melted about a teaspoon of butter. And I have some of my homemade seasoned breadcrumbs, and they're seasoned like with Italian herbs. So I just want a little bit of that. And I'm just going to mix this up into a crumbly mixture. Sorry, I had to take a dog barking intermission. So I just made some breadcrumbs here, that I'm just going to sprinkle on top. And that's it. I'm going to put it in a 350, 375 degree oven and just heat it through because everything's already cooked. And I think it'll be good. So a quick casserole for those of us that like macaroni and cheese and spaghetti. So there we go. That will be my dinner, day 66. And I'll be back when I get it all put together. Okay, my yogurt has cooled down. And soy milk likes to tend to get a skin on top, so you might want to stir it every now and then. So I'm going to add the rest of this, and they say about half a cup, so that's about half a cup. I'm not real precise on measurements. It's probably why I don't bake much, because baking is precise. So I'm going to stir that in and put it back in the jar and then let it sit and ferment. Now I've found in the past when I've made yogurt, if it's too hot where I ferment it, and this happens to me, I don't know if everybody has this problem, but it separates and you get a lot of water with it. So I'm just going to leave it covered up with a towel and leave it out at room temperature. And however long it takes, that's how long it's going to take. So this is what it looks like. And back in the jar it goes. I should probably get a clean jar. Even though this one has good bacteria in it, some of this stuff on the top might get moldy. So I'm going to get a clean jar. All right, well, easy peasy. Now this does have a few lumps in it from, like I said, it likes to get a skin. Soy milk especially likes to get a skin. But that's okay, I'll just stir it up and call it good. Sometimes if my yogurt doesn't get thick enough, once it's done fermenting, I'll get some chia seeds and blend it up with some chia seeds, and that thickens it right up too. So there we go. A new batch of what hopefully will be some good yogurt. And I'm just going to put this lid on very loosely so that it can ferment. Okay, I'll be back with dinner in a little bit. All right, my friends, here is my dinner, day 66. Cheese garlic bread out of my freezer. Mac and cheese casserole with tomatoes. And a salad with romaine, black olives, little pieces of beets. They're crispy beets. I think I got those at Mark's. And crispy onions and cheese and sesame croutons. Those are from the Dollar Tree. And Italian dressing. So there's dinner, day 66. All right, and I still have leftovers. Oh, I don't know. Okay, I'm going to eat my dinner. And in the meantime, I want to wish you guys abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you. And I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. Thanks for watching.